Joining the Loudr Lawyer Network, the podcast where we sit down with the law firm owners, attorneys, and visionaries that are making the most noise in the legal landscape nationwide to find out the secrets to their success. Other podcasts think they're getting loud, but we're getting louder. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Loudr Lawyer Network, where we help attorneys scale to $1 million months through powerful strategies and connections. And this morning, I welcome Burke Brown III. Burke Brown, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Raje. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Hey, man, pleasure to be here, man. When your office said that the only appointment you could make was 8 o'clock in the a.m. my time, because I'm on the West Coast, I'm like, let's do it. I got to talk to this man.
Hey,
So,
I appreciate it. Like a shot of coffee in the morning, right?
Hey, a shot of coffee in the morning. I hear you,
Get
man.
some energy going. Let's go.
Hey, so Brooke, you're Nebraska through and through. Born there, raised there, educated there, and built your practice there. And you're a Nebraskan through and through. Go Cornhuskers.
Yeah, I think I believe I was brought home from the hospital in a Tommy Frazier jersey, so that should
Wow.
tell you a little bit about my family, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, take me to the beginnings, right? You've built your law firm is Pol- Polaris, like the star, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Polaris from scratch. What made you believe you could create a firm that would become bigger than you?
So it's an interesting start, right? So I've always felt like I had an ability to take care of people that, you know what, if you really care about your clients, you care about the cases, you do good work, good things will happen. It's kind of the Nebraska mentality a little bit. But I started at a different firm right out of law school. Just to be blunt, it was not a good fit, right? They were asking me to do some things I felt were maybe unethical. About 6 months in, I was shown the door on a Tuesday morning, and I had a crossroads, right? I could go this one path, start my own firm, see what I could build from it, or I could just start applying to anywhere and just try to get another job, right?
Right.
Um, we had just
Hold
moved
that
out.
thought right
Go
there.
ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Hold that thought right there. You gave me that part. We have that. I want to go. What led you to getting into law in the first place? Take us there. Take us to that journey.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Nebraska. I grew up, let's just say, we were not we were not high socioeconomic status, right? I grew up on a little farm here in Nebraska where, you know what, things were okay, but I saw a lot of people that were barely scraping by. I
Mm-hmm.
like to read. I like to argue. I like to stand up for people. I kind of have. I grew up in the church, and you know what? One of the greatest stories you're ever told is David-versus-Goliath, right?
Yes,
I,
sir.
I I saw this as
Come on.
I've got some opportunity. I've got what I believe are some
Praise
talents,
God. Yes.
and took the opportunities given to me and said, you know what? Let's go. Let's fight for the little people that people don't care about, and that is what really pushed me and drove me to get through school, you know, working nights, going through school, get through law school, still working through law school to pay for it. And then when I was able to hit the ground, pass the bar exam and start building things, I got pretty darn excited because you know what, I can sit here and I can make an impact on people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, that's beautiful. For you to immediately um, go to your faith, the David and Goliath story. You're the second individual that's been on that's talked about they were in their faith, talking about David and Goliath, and what the Lord gives us when He puts that, when He's chosen you and He's put that path along you. You just have to surrender and go about that way. And I love what you said about, um, you know, I'll get into it later down, but what your clients have said about you, what you just stated here in the beginning, you there are certain words I picked out that show that, so good for
That's
you, man.
appreciated. I like to think, you know what, talking the talk is easy. We like to walk the walk as well. So
Yes, yes.
I think we'll talk about the things we're trying to build, but I truly think the experiences of our clients and the community building we're trying to do, I think it shows that we're actually accomplishing a lot of these things we're setting out to do.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. And that Polaris to have that star right there, that star to follow, man. That's strong. I mean, that speaks volumes. It really does. Um, so you go to school. Where do you go to school at?
Yeah, so I did University of Nebraska. So
Hey.
we one thing you're gonna learn about my story is there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of work to get to these opportunities, but there are a lot of opportunities I'm grateful for, and part of what I'm doing now is I'm trying to make sure we pay back and we extend those opportunities to other people. Like being at the University of Nebraska was a great opportunity for me. It's a public college. It's I was on scholarship by a gentleman up in Omaha. I don't know if you heard of Warren Buffett before, but
Yes, sir.
to the scholarships he's doing, it's amazing to see the community building that someone like that can do, right? So I went to University of Nebraska, went to University of Nebraska College of Law, and then we're very thankful for those opportunities, especially doing the immigration clinic at the University of Nebraska College of Law allowed me to be in immigration courtrooms before I was even an attorney, before I had the opportunity to pass the bar.
Wow. Tell me about that experience. What was that like being in, and what led you to getting into the immigration at part of law?
Yeah, so I met my wife back in undergrad. We started building our lives together. I learned her parents' immigration story from touching back on that faith, where I listened to her dad's story about getting baptized in the river at midnight in February because that's when you could in the USSR, and you get sent to the gulag if you got caught being part of the church, right? So
Wow.
hearing their story, hearing how they came to find religious freedom and safety in the United States made me want to be able to stand up for other people um, that it was challenging trying to go through the immigration system to protect their families. That got my heart involved, and it triggered that David versus Goliath mentality, where going through the first Trump presidency, you had a lot of people just trying to protect families, and things became a lot more difficult, right? So that pushed me towards immigration law, and it pushed me towards finding this opportunity to go in and help people.
Wow, that's a beautiful story, man. That is that resonates on levels that go beyond this show. Um, so you get out of law school, you build your firm, you go on to build your firm. Um, after, did you work with anybody before that? After you did the College of Nebraska, did you go to another office? You begin to tell that story, and I stopped you. Go back to that
Yeah,
story.
so I worked for a general practice firm. It was more about, hey, how much can we bill every minute, make sure we're squeezing every drop out of this case, every case, right? And it just didn't necessarily sit right with me. That and some of the things I was doing, I wasn't in my sweet spot, so I wasn't able to pour everything into my cases. It was, what, real estate law, it's important. Property rights are important. Just not my cup of tea, right? Fighting over 3 inches on a boundary fence it's not going to get me fired up like protecting a family, protecting someone coming off of an injury, something like that.
Right,
That I can step in beside that person, and I can have more skin in the game than, okay, here's a couple $1,000s, right?
right. No,
So
absolutely.
that just I was there about 6 months, then hung my own shingle. Decided that, what, I'm gonna take the path of, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to build something. Day one, I volunteered at the animal shelter, said, hey, what do you guys need help with? Got on the board of directors there, tried to help build up the community there, started volunteering, started working with a couple nonprofits in the small town. And before long, the phone starts ringing because you do things in the community, you do things to actually try to help people. People hear that and they want to be involved. They'd rather support a company that's actively trying to help the community than just someone out trying to squeeze every penny out of something, right?
Right. No, that's bad. You totally understand the business, man. And in understanding the business today, Polaris, Polaris. I'm tongue tied.
Oh, don't worry, man. You're good.
You guys handle immigration, personal injury, criminal defense. Where is the firm today? Where is it actually generating its business today? And which practices in your area do you want to grow more of? I mean, would you like to see the focus going in the future? All of them equally, or primarily getting into one? Because you're doing things in immigration where people need that help. They need a voice for them. When people are injured in a car accident, there's a lot of things that happen, especially out in your neck of the woods with all the different rules and stuff with trucking and commercial vehicles and things of that nature. Um, and then the criminal aspect of things. You help. I assume you help people that are victims of crime, or do you help people who are uh, doing the crime, the perpetrators?
Yeah, so generally we've been on the criminal defense side of things, right? This is born out of early on. I got on the public defender contracts
Mm-hmm.
because one of my beliefs is that you know what, everyone deserves a fair chance, right? Um, Maybe it's also combination of learning stories of a lot of people in immigration law where when unchecked government can do unchecked things, bad things happen, right? So I feel strongly that you know what, yeah, criminal defendants, they deserve, even ones that can't pay, they deserve the best criminal defense that they can give. I'll tell you, you're asking, okay, from maybe Polaris 2 years ago to where we are today to where we are next year. What's that shift looking like?
Yes.
We used to do a lot more criminal defense work. Now we're very selective, right? We'll take some really big criminal defense cases, but I've got some criteria I want to look at with these criminal defense cases. We don't take any case that comes in the door, right? It's got to be something where we're going to have a big impact on this family, this either defendant or their extended family as well, and it's got to be it's got to be worth our time. You know what? If it's a DUI, is this a parent that's trying to make sure they can take their kids to school? Is this someone that at the amount of veterans with PTSD that I've helped through DUIs is it's a lot, right? Um, so we are taking less criminal defense work, and we're shifting a lot of that criminal defense to personal injury, because it's again one of those where we want to help family units. We want to help people that you know what, they might be in a hard point in their life right now, but we want to help them chart a path to kind of a brighter future. That's where the whole messaging with Polaris comes from. Where if you look back through the years, the North Star was used for navigation. Our goal is to help people navigate to where they really want to be in life. Doesn't matter what challenges they're facing, what challenges they face. We want to help them navigate to where we truly want them to be, where they want to be. So in the future, right now we're probably at least half immigration, half um, I'd say combination of personal injury and criminal, with personal injury growing a lot. You talk about being in Nebraska, we got I-80 that runs through one of the biggest interstates in the country. So unfortunately, we've seen some terrible things with trucks. It just, someone doesn't pay attention, whether it's a big rig or whether it's just someone coming through trying to get to vacation spot, and lives can be changed, lives can be lost. It's tough.
No, that's tough. I mean, I've seen video, not only video, but I've seen actual accidents happen with trucks, man, and it's devastating. That's a lot of tonnage, going into a little car. Um,
It's a ton of tonnage. We and
Tonnage.
we represent. I mean, we represent a lot of truck drivers as well because people like to think with truck accidents, it's just, truck hits car. That's end of story. A lot of times, truck drivers that, I mean, this is their way of supporting their family. This is their livelihood. And when there's an accident where they get hit when it's no fault of their own, not only are they now dealing with the medical, the mental side of things, but now their livelihood, if they own this rig, their ability to support their family just went out the door, right? So
Right.
how do we step in and help these people? I think it's extremely important.
Yeah, and you said something. A lot of trucking. I don't know. You're the expert in the business, but a lot of trucking accidents happen because they're trying to avoid um, hitting someone or hurting them and stuff. And the maneuvers that they have to make is just seconds. And I know that can be stressful for the driver of those trucks. So that is good. That's a beautiful thing you're doing there, man. Um, you've gone from your Nebraska roots to four different locations. You're in Omaha, Columbus, Lincoln, and then you've chartered outside to Chicago, Illinois. Tell me how that transition happened.
Yeah, so Chicago definitely looks like the outlier, right? It's the only non-Nebraska location as of now. I can tell you we've got some work. We got some things in the work over on the West Coast because we've got a bunch of team members out in California. But
Wow.
Chicago, um, it goes back a little bit to the cultural element of I married into a Ukrainian family, and I saw a huge need for immigration, but also employment-based immigration based in the Chicago area. Um,
Right.
we've got multiple team members that speak Ukrainian on staff, and being able to provide great service in Chicago right now. Our Chicago office is immigration only. I'm pending license in Illinois. I'm not licensed there, so we only do federal work there. But we've really had a great time being able to go out, meet people. There's a Ukrainian village out in Chicago, and actually, some of our other team members that have cultural connections to Chicago have also enjoy going out for a little bit. So we've got our office down there. We saw a need, and we tried to build this office to fit that need in the community.
Yeah, that's really so. The star, the star Polaris is moving. Is it? You said something about California. Do you plan on doing the immigration in California and the personal injury? Do you is personal injury gonna work all the way through? Say like a Morgan and Morgan. Is that the kind of vision that you have?
So I don't necessarily plan on being a Morgan and Morgan, right? No offense to those guys, they do a lot of work, right? But we are going to do some personal injury out in California. We currently do some personal injury. We've got an attorney licensed out there, and we've got a team in the Los Angeles area, and then a team in the San Francisco area. So ultimately, we're very community focused. It's something that it's part of our core values. Um, we want to be able to support our team and support our team's communities that they care about, right? Um, Part of that is I got to start walking the walk a little bit. I can't just talk the talk on that. I've got to show my team we're going to step up and we're going to support their communities where they're from out in California too. So yeah, we're looking at opening here in the next year or so, an office out in California. We've got a team member licensed out there that's already taking cases there and personal injury, and then yeah, we've done a ton of immigration help in California as well.
Um, That's beautiful work, man. That is from what you're laying out. I see the you can see the vision clearly of the David and Goliath story of how you're moving, especially into the areas in which you want to go. And um, we all know about what's going on in Ukraine. I have a lot of Ukrainian friends too out here in Los Angeles, which is a big Ukrainian community, and the efforts that you're putting in, especially for those families, for those kids in the community, um, and being a voice for them speaks volumes because you're literally living it with your wife and your family.
We're trying. I remember the first days of the invasion. I had actually I had spent a couple weeks in Ukraine in 2014, so back before this we knew this was going to come, but before it started in action, right? And then I remember being on the phone with my cousins, my wife's cousins, that they were on the border to get to Poland, and how do we try to help them come to the United States? That first month, that February, I think firm wide our revenue dropped like 95% that month because it was so much free consultations, trying to talk with families, trying to see, okay, how can we help before these programs really got started. And ultimately we ended up sponsoring a couple families as well personally, because when when there's an opportunity like this where again we're put in a situation where we've been given some blessings, how can you pay it forward? How can you actually walk the walk and protect people? And ultimately, since that invasion started, we've really been trying to help people as much as we can. We've been working with nonprofit groups. Um, I appreciate the fact that you see that, yeah, there's a lot of pain going on. There's a lot of pain going on in the rest of the world too, but um, it's definitely a lot of pain going on in the community.
No, absolutely. You do a lot. You do mentoring, correct? You
Yeah,
mentor young people, coaching young people. Um, why is it so important to you um, to pouring this into the next generation?
I think it's extremely important. Um, on a side note, the first kid that I started mentoring, his name was Hunter. He was the gentleman that came in and helped get my microphone to work today. So
Oh,
we started
Hunter.
this relationship a long time ago, and now he's in college. And to be blunt, he's probably the smartest person I know. So he's actually working for us here at Polaris, and just to see his growth through the years, it's amazing. Again, this goes back to, we've only got 24 hours in a day, right? We've only got a certain amount of time we're going to be on this earth. How can we try to amplify the good that we're doing in the community? Mentorship is one of the biggest ways we can do this. During undergrad, I did a youth reentry program where we talked to kids coming out of correctional facilities, and we tried to hold their hand through the process of leaving the institution to getting back into school, getting back into sports, things like that. And that was not Hunter, I should say. He was not at YRTC, but um, being able to walk through and try to help put kids on a different path. I mean, there are some parallels from that initial mentoring I did and the mentoring I still do to what we're trying to do as a firm. And I think it's one of those community building aspects that I encourage our whole team to get out, do some volunteering with mentoring as well. So if you're listening to this, especially men, we need good male figures for people's lives. Kids growing up, a lot of kids need male figures, and a lot of nonprofits are really struggling to get male volunteers, especially in like kid facing approaches. So go out, pull the trigger, get it done.
Hey, well said. You know, listening to you, I'm I'm not conflicted. I'm there's just so much inside of me right now that I want to say because you've said so much. It's one thing that you're helping these families and and things of that nature and people who are injured in accidents. But when it comes to the kids and community and that next generation, being the North Star, something that God gave you a vision, right? Um, Naming your company and things of that nature. Have you ever thought about further and taking that what you're doing in that brand and shipping that out beyond Nebraska with mentoring kids? What you just said right there when you said men, if you're listening, um, need to amplify that message.
I mean, I'd love to amplify it. I think so. People like you, what you're doing here with the podcast and with media and marketing and what you're doing to get the word out, I think it's important. I think that a lot of times people see marketing as a bucket to lead to revenue, right? I think that you can also look at it as, you know what, why don't we take some of that marketing budget and put it towards amplifying things like what we're talking about right now, right? Let's get in front of people. Let's tell our stories. Let's lead by example, and let's try to get people involved with this, right? I think that that's something I've tried to do. I Based on what I know of you, Rajay, I think you're trying to do that as well. And I think that, yeah, I don't know how I would amplify it more than what we're doing. I think that I try to use personal relationships to amplify that, and I think I do try to push my team. It's part of our core values of community to try to go out and do things in the community. Like we've got team members that are foster parents. We've got team members that have all kinds of um, activities or nonprofits or things like that they're doing that we fully support, and I ask, you know, other business leaders out there, like, give back by nourishing and growing that in your company too.
No, absolutely. And something that struck me earlier when we were talking, you got a scholarship by Warren Buffett, and we all know that Warren Buffett, um, what he's tried to get individuals to do that have money, you know, where does that money go when they die? Because when you die, you can't take it with you, right? And
Hmm.
when you're alive here on Earth, I think it's important to um, what does it do to gain all the profit and lose one's soul?
Doesn't
That's
do a whole lot, that's for sure.
it doesn't do a whole lot, and I think that what you doing, Brooke Brown the third. See, notice I thought the third on there. Generational. That means those listening. That means he's third generation down right there. Brooke Brown the third. What you're doing um, is a beautiful model of what it means to um, be human. I looked at some of the reviews and what your clients are saying about you. They talk about your compassion, your being kind, you're dedicated, your attention to detail, paying attention to details. Those are the little things that stand out um, bigger than the actual, you know, firm. That's the actions that's happening. People are watching you. They're paying attention, you know, and I think that is a beautiful thing. So as you continue to want to grow and expand, when you're doing business, because at the same time we have to do business, right? So
Exactly.
you know, cases have to come in, all those things. How are you working through expansion? What type of marketing are you doing? Like what comes in to you, and what would you like to see happen more?
Yeah, so I think one of the key things on expansion is, so I think one of those things to talk about with the reviews is, so we've got 17 people at the firm now. So it's not Burke Brown, so it's not, these people aren't talking about me. I've done a, in my opinion, I've done a really solid job of getting good people to work here. We've tried to build this as a place that people want to work and people want to come in, and then we give great opportunities to people. And I've got great team members to where like Tasha and Krunal and James, like their attention to detail is great, but the fact that they're taking on cases because it's not because they want a paycheck, because they can get a paycheck anywhere. They have the same passion at filling these cases out and making sure we're protecting families, and we're doing these type of things where it in and a lot of times it's more than a job, right? Like the culture
Yes.
we've built of maybe these things I said today, some people might think it's a little over the top, but this is how we've built our culture. And I think it's resonated with a lot of our team members, and they live it. So a lot of our cases have come from, working with nonprofits. Referrals are huge. We've got some digital marketing we do. I feel like the organic is kind of paid more dividends than the old Google pay per click and stuff like that. But um, in essence, we're trying to do controlled growth, and we're trying to ensure that we can keep that quality up while also, expanding into the personal injury market more than we have been, making sure that we're able to find cases where we can actually help people, and we're not just, taking a third of the recovery and just doing nothing. We want to make sure we're providing something to these people as well. And I think that that's something that we take as being pretty darn important.
No, absolutely. You said four other people. You have three other attorneys, including you, right? And
So let's see, we have four total attorneys right now.
okay, including you.
Correct, and we had one just take the bar next week. Knock on wood, she's going to pass because I know the work she's done throughout law school as a law clerk, and what it would mean to have another Arabic speaking attorney here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and how you could build up that community, how important that can be.
Absolutely.
So I am I am crossing both fingers, and I
Prayer,
know she killed it,
prayer.
but we're gonna do it.
Right. Um, you say it's not Brooke Brown, but Brooke Brown, that's your your fingerprint on everything that is coming into the office. They're coming into what your initial um, dream, your thought was. So you are stone by stone putting that together. And of course, standing on the biggest stone, which is which is Christ. He's a cornerstone, right? Um, and everything is happening from there. So that's a beautiful process that you're doing right now, man.
I appreciate that. And yeah, I know at the end of the day, so my name's not on the door anymore. It used to be Burke Brown Law, now it's Polaris Law Group. But you're right, my thumbprint has been on everything. I've been very very thoughtful in how we grow, how we build, and I'm thankful for the opportunities we've been given. I'm thankful for our clients that we have, and thankful for the communities we've been able to touch. But um, my I'm thankful for my team. This is a thankful moment to be able to just look back in retrospect and see how things have built and see how far we've come. So, Raje, I appreciate that sentiment. So thanks.
Oh, you're welcome, man. So this part of it I call this is the louder rapid fire. Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot off some questions, or just shoot
Hit
off
me.
questions and you just answer. Nebraska or Chicago?
So I want to live in Nebraska. Um, I live out in a small town near a farm. I love it.
Nice. Courtroom or negotiation table?
Courtroom. I played college football for a bit. I love I love a little bit of competition.
Wait, did you play football in Nebraska?
Oh God, no! I was not good enough to do that.
I
I
was
played
like,
NAIA for a year. So
okay, okay.
James is our big football guy. He played at Ole Miss for a year, but
Oh,
um,
nice.
I just I went small school for a year.
Okay. Uh, Immigration or personal injury?
I do more immigration. Um, I do a bit of personal injury, but James is our personal injury guy. If we take a personal injury case to trial, I can promise you it's going to be James sitting at the trial table. I'll second chair it.
Right. Would you like to grow that side of the business, personal injury?
I do. I'm competitive. I love. It's exciting to me um, because I can see someone come in. Like we had someone come in last week in a neck brace, and I was angry for him. Right. I want to be able to help him. I want to step in day one and say, you know what, I'm going to ease some of your burden. So that's exciting for me. Um, but at the end of the day, I've got people coming in that a removal order is going to mean that um, their kids, their family, their future. It's not only put on hold, but we've had clients in the past where we've got the highest denial rates. The Omaha court has a 98% denial rate. There have been nationwide reporting on it that with the changes in the asylum law, it just people say, yeah, there's persecution, but it doesn't fit what the law says as of right now. So we're going to remove you. We had one person that was shot within 2 weeks of returning to the country, and if that doesn't light a fire under you to try to help protect people, I don't know what will.
Wow. Yeah, my prayers are with you, man, and what your firm is doing for people. Um, Build bigger or stay boutique?
Bigly boutique. How does that sound? Um,
Bigly boutique.
I think we're gonna stay boutique. I don't want to get past, let's say, 7 offices. I want to make sure we're keeping the heart of what we do and we're keeping that quality high. I think that's extremely important to me. I don't know how I could do that on a countrywide firm. I've got to make sure we're able to take that quality, take our community focus, and continue to grow that community focus.
Um, well, probably go into this. More offices or deeper market share?
I think deeper market share.
Okay.
I think it plays in with the community aspect of the more people we can help in specific markets, better for me.
Best lawyer trait: preparation or instinct?
Preparation. If you're prepared
Cases.
for anything, you're going to be fine.
Oh, nice, nice. Cases or community? Which leaves the bigger legacy?
Community for sure. I can I can get a $2 million case on a truck accident on I-80, and you know what? It's going to change the life of maybe 10 people in a family, right? Or I can help build up a community, and you know what? We're talking about maybe 30 to 50 families plus their kids plus their grandkids. Community day in and day out.
One thing law school can't teach you.
How to care about people. Law
Mm,
school, you get the view of this is the law, this is the system, this is specifically what we have to do on XYZ case from the 1800s and why that's important today. What it doesn't teach you is it doesn't teach you that human element. When you're talking a personal injury case, the money at the end doesn't matter.
right.
It's the person, it's the family. You know what? If we're talking about a truck accident that killed somebody, you know what? You've got a spouse and kids and even people in the community like churches and things like that that are all grieving. where, you know what, yeah, you could put some money in their pocket, but that's not going to replace that chair at Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
So it doesn't teach you the human element. I was very thankful for the University of Nebraska to have the immigration clinic, because that taught me early on that it allowed me to start meeting with clients, and it was a kind of a stark contrast to the theory of law classes you do from day one in law school.
Wow. I mean, that experience right there, man, being a clerk, um, that's that's priceless, you know. And it's I can just look at you and tell you've been wearing that badge from day one, before you ever passed the bar. It's beautiful. It comes through, man. You naturally flow.
Well, I do my best. I think it's important to me, and what's important grows, thrives.
Absolutely. Nebraska in one word.
Home. I I can't think of anything else besides that. It's where my kids are growing up. It's where, you know, their grandparents are. It's where I can tell you where to get the best steaks. I can tell you okay, I can tell you where to park on Husker games, and um yeah, ultimately I think home is that word.
Absolutely. Home is where the heart is, and your heart is definitely shown throughout your work, Brooke. Um, Polaris Law Group 5 years from now.
So Polaris Law Group 5 years from now, my goal is to, I think, get our home base for my California team, because while Nebraska's home for me, that answer would be different for my California team, right? I want to make sure I'm pouring out on them. I'm supporting them to build that home base for them as well. And then I want to do things to start getting more actively back in the community. So, you know, we try to help support youth sports. How can we take the next step on that? How can we look at supporting like the foster care closets, the back to school programs, things like that? How can we take that next step? I mean, of course, 5 years from now, there's some case goals, there are some, you know, revenue goals, things like that will help us get to what we want to do in the community. But I've got a lot of community ideas and things I want to do to help improve not only Lincoln, Omaha, Columbus, but also like Chicago and even nationwide. Some things that we can do to try to help families.
With that said, Brooke Brown's legacy in one word. Excuse me, Brooke Brown the third legacy in one word.
Fair
Let me
enough.
get that right. Let me correct myself.
Like community. So
Community.
when I look at what we're trying to build at Polaris, I view it as a through a lens of, you know, are my girls going to be proud of this when they're older, right? The
Mm,
way that I can do that is I can build community. I can have good people work for us that also want to reach out and grow community and give community to people. And yeah, that's my goal. I think if I continue to strive for that goal in 30, 40 years, when I'm looking back at what we built, I think I can be proud of that.
absolutely, man. So while we were sitting here with everyone, I usually do an acronym with their name, right? So
Okay.
in the process of you and I talking, we went through the beginnings, B. We went to understanding the business, you understanding the business, not only the business of law, but how impactful it is in the actions that you're taking as you go along. So that was the you understand the business. The reach, R, your reach, where you go. Again, drawing back to community, looking at the families, looking at the different aspects, paying attention to the details in everything that you lay out. K, kids and community. You have Hunter in there that you've watched since he was a little guy, and to see where he's going now, coming into college, and looking at that, again, paying attention to detail that you want to lay out to the communities, these families, these, you talked about men stepping up, being there, that's strong. And then E, expansion. Here you are, you want to expand to about 7 offices, right? 7 locations eventually, and coming all the way out to California. Following that North Star, not only are you following it, but you're living the name of what your company is, the actions that you're taking forward. So I take my hat off to you, man. Well done.
I appreciate that. And I know it's something that, you know what, are we perfect? No, but we're trying to get a little bit better every day, just living our core values.
Core values. So when you hear the term Loudr Lawyer, what does a Loudr Lawyer mean to you?
Got to have a little bit of personality. You got to have a reason for what you're doing. So if you're louder for no reason, you're not getting anything done. If you're louder because you've got some personality and you've got a reason to do what you're doing, that's why when I saw that, I got interested. I'm like, all right. So I looked up what you guys are doing, and I think you have a strong reason on what you're doing. So
you looked up. Did you look up Loudr Media? This is the child of Loudr Media. Loudr Media is Brandon and Jeremiah. They are, Jeremiah comes from humble beginnings. I'm going to have them on here soon to tell their tell their story on the show.
Look forward to hearing it.
They care about people, the human aspect, and they care about what the attorneys out there doing. They're trying to help the attorneys, so they're out there generating business for attorneys.
For sure, you got to have some personality.
Yeah.
That's what I hear from Loudr. That's what comes to my mind.
Hey, well said, well said. Well, Burke Brown III, I enjoyed talking to you. I love that you're bold about your faith. That makes me feel good. I too am walking with Christ. I'm a Christian, and He's everything. He's the beginning, the end, and everything in between, the Alpha and the Omega. So,
I appreciate that, Raje, and I think that living those things that we're told to live, I think is important. So loving your neighbor, building that community, doing these things, you gotta walk the walk. That's what we're trying to do, and I implore people out there, whatever your faith set is, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, I've got Hindi friends, whatever your faith set is, or if you don't have a faith set, just finding your why, finding your path forward, and helping others, I think will do good things. It's done good things for me, and I'm excited for the future because of it.
Absolutely. Well, man, I thank you for being on today. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Wait, before I go, how do people get a hold of you, Brooke?
Oh, yeah. So that's a great question. Thank you, Raje. So you can call us at Polaris Law Group, 402-606-1441. Find us on social media, Polaris Law Group, on be LinkedIn, Facebook. I think we got an Instagram. I'm not social media savvy, or PolarisLawyers.com.
I wanted to talk to you about that. That's the other thing. I went to go click those, but I couldn't get it on your profile. I couldn't find those.
So sounds like I've got some work to do.
Loudr Media will help you on that. All right,
appreciate you.
Right back. All right, appreciate you.
Thanks for being a part of the Loudr Lawyer Network. If you're enjoying the conversation, let us know. Give us a like and subscribe to never miss a thing. We'll see you next time right here on the Loudr Lawyer Network.